Waynesfield Goshen class of 2012 track and field. With twin sister Morgan, led Waynesfield Goshen to a team second place finish at the 2012 Division III state track meet, as the Horn sisters were the only Tigers qualifiers. 16 times a state qualifier, 11 times All-Ohio, 3 times a state champion, winning the indoor high jump, the 100 hurdles, and the 4x100. 3 times NWCC track MVP, holds 10 school records. Also twice All-NWC basketball player.
She was amazing. I mean, she was one of those kids. I mean, she had the natural speed. You know, she could jump, she could hurdle, she could sprint. You know, when she went down there in 2012 and her sister Morgan won second place as a team, I don't think I really shocked people because they knew that Ivy could score in 4 events. But the way she dominated in a couple of those events and the way she would, you know, and she was so consistent. Every week when you see her compete, she was always right there. But she had a great combination of speed, I think a lot of pure grit, because I know she was a really hard worker. But she was probably one of the better female track athletes I've seen around this area in a long time.
Yeah, Ivy Horn really struck me. Of course, her twin sister also very impressive. But Ivy was so confident, but her confidence as a runner and in some of the field events also just elevated all of her teammates. The other thing about Ivy that struck me wasn't just necessarily her success on the track, but it was her exuberance and her leadership qualities. To me, that made her extra special because there's a lot of good athletes all around, girls and boys, but her leadership qualities, I think, made her extra special.
The Horn family is just so special, and we'd seen Joe Horn come through, we'd seen Gray Horn come through, and then here's Ivy and Morgan, the twins, both very similar athletes, but with different attributes as well. And it was state meet, their senior season, and we remember Joe winning the state title with Gray for that first time in 2006, first time Waynesfield Goshen to ever won a team title. And Ivy and Morgan wanted to do that as well. And they were different personalities for sure. Ivy was going to be a Buckeye, Morgan was going to Air Force. That was her commitment right out of high school. And Ivy was the one that was just steady. If she was not injured, she was going to be the one to win the 100, to win the 200. She was just so steady and so skilled. Every race that she ran, if she was healthy, she was the favorite. And it was really a special moment as they embraced there on the medal stand. They hadn't won the big gold, but as two sisters, they had done something very special that I'm sure they'll always remember.
And, you know, Ivy talked about how Morgan pushed her, and I think it, you know, worked both ways, obviously, because, you know, everybody always made that comment, well, you know, Ivy's a little better than Morgan. You know, it's not to downplay what Morgan did, because Ivy was phenomenal. And I think they really worked well together, because I think they did a lot of the same events. They were both sprinters. They both jumped. Morgan was more of the pole vaulter, but you know, they both did a lot of the same skill sets. And I think they did push each other at the same time. They were probably the biggest supporters, because I know when we went down to state, you know, the way those girls competed, and they weren't going to be satisfied with second place. I mean, they still wanted to win the state title. That's one thing that stood out about me, the fact that they got second place that year, 2 girls, which is rare, and then they were happy, but you could tell they weren't satisfied, which, you know, that's rare to see an athlete that young kind of be disappointed about getting second place at state.
Horn went on to compete in the pentathlon and heptathlon at Ohio State, graduating this past May. Ivy Horn, number 5 on 44's Top 44 Female Athletes. Horn was a scholar athlete at Ohio State, earning academic All-Big Ten honors as well as the Big Ten Distinguished Scholar Award. As for twin sister Morgan, after starting her college career at Air Force, she has joined older brother Gray at Tiffin University.